little different look today. We're in the actually the room where everything happens, Coach. This is where this program's built around the toughness. You guys bring on the field every Friday night, the strength. Right here in this weight room. So good venue for me and you to be doing this interview today. And Coach, first of all, we've had to move things around because of fall break, but we're here. You guys played Douglas last Friday night. You knew it was going to be a tough game. They got some guys, and you guys were able to get out of there with a win. Wasn't maybe the prettiest in your opinion, but I guarantee you're happy to get a win in their region and move forward.
Yeah, no doubt. Real happy to get the win. We knew it was going to be tough going over there. Coach Lyles has done a great job with Douglas. They've got some really good young athletes, his son being one of them, and they got that receiver that's really good. They played, in my opinion, they played probably their best game as a defensive front. They were really geared up, which, at the end of the day, it ended up being more like a playoff game, with kind of how the regions played out and kind of where we were both sitting, who they had lost to and kind of who they had left and all that stuff. I feel like they were kind of playing to maybe to have a chance to get in. So we knew it was going to be tough. We go over there and, we struggled offensively early. They got a score. They got a score in the first quarter. Our defense forced some turnovers. We had one kid, Evan Jones, he ended up having 3 interceptions on the night, which was really big for us. When we forced some more turnovers, put our offense in a really good spot in the first half to score some points, and we just couldn't get anything going. And a lot of that was kind of self-inflicted, whether we missed blocks or missed assignments or whatever. But Douglas had a good plan and played us tough, and then made some adjustments. We didn't make a whole lot of adjustments at halftime. We just kind of challenged our kids to kind of do their job, play a little bit more physical. We came out in the second half, and we were 3 for 3 on touchdown drives in the second half, kind of corrected some things.
That's awesome.
Defense still played strong. Holding. We ended up giving up. We got up 21-7. We gave up a pass with about 2.5, 3 minutes left in the game. We gave up a pass for a touchdown, about a 70-yard touchdown. And it kind of made it a little hairy towards the end. We had to recover an onside kick. Then we ended up having a punt because they had some timeouts left, and they were able to take a couple shots. But Evan ended up sealing the deal with his third interception at the end of the game. So
shoot, that's awesome.
It was a really good team win. It was good to go on the road. We battled back. We faced some adversity, which I feel like we face just about every
week.
We found ourselves in those situations. But the kids have responded really good on the road. A couple times, we got down the same way at Sardis, and we got down at Douglas. Same kind. We were down a score at halftime. Both those games, we were able to come back and win both of those. Just finding ways to win. That's really good for the team. I wish we wouldn't put ourselves in those predicaments, really. But just having the guys fight for each other and face that adversity and come through and get big wins on the road in the region is big. So now we're sitting here 3-1 with a couple left.
Coach, as I said when we started, it probably wasn't the prettiest, but for your guys to go out there, like you said, in the second half and execute like they did and win a gritty game. Anytime you can get a road win in region play, it's huge too. But how proud are you of the guys to pull it out? Because in some situations like that thing could go the other way.
Yeah,
and it has in the past and for a lot of places.
Yeah, it could definitely go the other way. Just the guys fight. They fight for 4 quarters. That's basically what we're built on. It's just playing 4-quarter games and kind of just playing the next play. Playing the next quarter, playing the next drive. That's what our guys do. They don't stop believing. We were down 2 scores at Madison Academy. We got down 3 scores at Madison Academy, and we fight back. We lose by a touchdown. I really think if we had a couple more minutes left in that game, we'd overcame that bad first half defensively and been able to win that one. So it's just never count us out.
That's right. No, that's good. And you said a minute ago, it's you're 3-1 in region play. You still actually control your own destiny for hosting the playoff game. So this is a great time to have an off week, and that's what you have this week. Going into this off week, just talk about your mindset and the things you got to get done here with the program.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could say the off week would get us more healthy, but I don't know if it can. I mean, we've had some season-ending injuries. We're not going to get those guys back. Hopefully, we got a few people that are banged up. That'll, an off week will be really good for them. We actually took Monday and Tuesday completely off. We're in today. Staff meeting for Scottsboro, kind of going ahead and preparing kind of our base plan for them. The kids will come in later. We'll do a film review, a workout, and a practice. So we'll practice today, tomorrow, and Friday. I'm sure a handful of us will go watch Scottsboro Guntersville on Friday night. We got Scottsboro next. But yeah, we got Scottsboro at home coming up, and then we'll travel on the road and go to Boaz. So hopefully we can put a good plan together and maybe scratch out a couple wins and be the 2 seed in the region. That would be really good, be able to host a playoff game. But what we've done so far is we've set ourselves up for a really good chance. I thought winning Friday night would clinch a playoff spot. It didn't necessarily, because Brewer beat Scottsboro, which was a big win for that program.
What does that say for this region?
And you got to show up every week. I mean, that's
crazy, dude.
You got to show up every week because you never know. I mean, all these teams have really good players that can take over a game. That's basically what happened in that game. Is Brewer just had a couple of their dudes. They showed up and then showed out during the game, and they were able to go on the road to Scottsboro, which was a really big win for them. But so they've kind of put themselves in a position to make a run towards the end of the season. So it doesn't necessarily clinch ourselves a playoff spot. It gets us closer, but also it gave us a chance to win out and be able to host a playoff game.
I'm going to ask you a question a coach said earlier this week and your thoughts on it. Coach Nix at Pleasant Valley, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He said something, they played a game similar like you did, a tight game. They won the game. Wasn't their best performance, but he said he challenged his guys in the locker room. He's like, hey, man, can we have a wake-up call and a win? He said anytime you lose, people start listening, and then you start going to the coaching better. We start receiving the information better, but can we do that same thing in a win? Like you guys had a win that was close. Does it wake these guys up, things like that? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think some people it can. I think it wakes probably coaches a little bit more than players, Sometimes those close wins. I mean, I think sometimes you can get a little wake-up call, but a lot of times things still get overlooked.
Yeah.
Because you were still able to come out with a win, and so I mean, it really just what attention do the kids take from it? So I mean, I think that's one of those kind of up in the air. It all depends on that kid.
I love the way he described it. He said, like, if you get onto a kid about cleaning their room, and they go grab everything, throw it in a closet, shut the door. Yeah, the room looks clean. We still got a problem here. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I was like, man, it makes sense, Coach. I said, I'm going to start using that in my day-to-day life. But a couple more questions I'll get you out here. Coach, every coach approaches an off week different. A lot of them say we're not off, we're just open, like the mindset. But how important is it to dial in early this week, which you already have, but you got to get juice out of this off week?
Yeah, I mean, I think making it an off week for us this year made sense. Like I said, we didn't come in on Sunday, coaches or players. Nobody came in on Monday or Tuesday. I'm sure there was still work being done on the computers at home, but just kind of getting away. Kind of this point in the season, kind of recharge your batteries a little bit. It worked out perfect for us because it's fall break this week too, so our kids are all from school all week.
That's good.
So we had some kids and coaches really that were able to take a long weekend vacation or whatever and just kind of get away.
That's huge in the middle of the season.
We'll see how recharged we are whenever we get the guys back today. But I think it's a really good reset. A little bit over halfway through the season, so I think it's a good reset for us and the kids. Kind of recharge and get geared up for the remainder of the season. So.
Last question, Coach. I always kick it back to you just for final thoughts.
I mean, we just, we got to shore some things up. Like, this week we're going to get back to kind of some fundamental stuff that maybe get overlooked whenever you're trying to squeeze in all the preparation each week for games. So we've got to get back to that kind of assignment football and blocking and tackling a little better. And we're still looking to find those playmakers. We've got to find some explosiveness on offense, because that's something that, we see other teams have got, and they can get themselves out of a situation in 3rd and long, and we hadn't really been able to do that, on a consistent basis.
Y'all got the lunch pail mentality.
Yeah, that's right. But we're going to try to keep getting better at blocking and tackling. We got to, and like I said, hopefully we can scheme up some explosiveness to where we can make some plays. We've got a tough schedule left. I mean, I know Scottsboro lost to Brewer, but they're still
really good.
They're a really good football team. They're going to come in here in about 10 days, and then Boaz has had a really good season so far, and then Priceville too. I think Priceville's lost one game, and it was 8-7 to West Morgan, which is a good football team. So I mean, what we've got left is pretty tough. So we've got to shore everything up and make sure that we can scratch out some wins here on this last part of the season, and then hopefully we get into the playoffs, which, I mean, if we take care of business, we do, and then see what we can do from there. That we've had 3 total playoff wins in school history. 2 seasons have made it past the first round, and I think we're set up to be able to do that this year. We just got to take care of business and stay strong. We've been preaching to the kids each week about, when do you drop back to average. We kind of had that discussion after the Madison Academy game. We felt like we were doing that a little bit. We were slipping back to average, and we weren't doing the little things right. When we preached on that, we're going to keep harping on it. And hopefully our strongest football is ahead of us, and we're going to need it to be. So.
Priceville, Cherokee County, Madison Academy.
It's a pretty tough non-region.
And then a 7A Albertville. Yeah, that'll prepare you for those playoffs you're talking about, Coach.
Hopefully we're.
What's those saying that they'll check your oil for that kind of schedule. Coach, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.